He was one of the most prominent members in the Philadelphia mob during the Nicky Scarfo era. He was the brother of the underboss and uncle of the reputed mob boss of the Philadelphia crime family. This is the story of Lawrence Yogi Merlino. The beginning. Lawrence Merlino was born on June 18, 1946 in the state of New Jersey. He was the younger brother of Salvatore Joseph Merlino, who was better known as Chuckie Merlino. Chuckie Merlino was born on June 29, 1939. Therefore, Lawrence Merlino was between 6 to 7 years younger than Chuckie Merlino. The Merlino brothers grew up in a predominantly Italian neighborhood in Atlantic City called Ducktown. The Ducktown has historically been an Italian-American district of Atlantic City. In fact, the press of Atlantic City called the neighborhood Atlantic City's Little Italy. Early years. During the years of the 1940s and 1950s, a new era was emerging. The Great Depression and World War II were over. Radio was still growing around the world and becoming more affordable, and television was becoming a hot commodity in the market. The silent generation would give birth to the baby boomer generation, and a crime wave was also evolving. Lawrence Merlino was the epitome of this baby boomer generation since he was born after World War II. Lawrence and his brother would later meet a new rising star of the Philadelphia crime family named Nicky Scarfo, who would become infamously known as Little Nicky Scarfo. Scarfo was 10 years older than Chuckie Merlino and 17 years older than Lawrence Merlino. Nicky Scarfo became acquainted with the Merlino brothers through their grandfather since he had a good working relationship with him. Scarfo, along with his family members, moved from Philadelphia to Atlantic City to live economically better. However, Scarfo would gain the reputation of being a wise guy and earning the assets after his mentor, Felix Skinny Razor DeTullio, had died from a heart attack. Nicky Scarfo would later take each Merlino brother under his wing for a new lifestyle that would change their lives forever. The rise of family and violence. The 1960s were the interesting years for the Merlino family. In the early 1960s, Lawrence Merlino's nephew, Joseph Merlino, was born on March 13, 1962. On May 25, 1963, Lawrence Merlino was 17 years old at this time, and he would hear a gruesome story that would involve his brother, Chuckie Merlino, and his friend Nicky Scarfo and Luis Mateo in South Philadelphia. Here is this story. Here we are in the heart of South Philadelphia at 302 Oregon Avenue, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As you know, especially in the digital age where restaurants and certain food chains are slowly decaying and depreciating. However, we do want to give our service to the Oregon Diner. It is still a beautiful restaurant. However, we do have to be truthful about certain historical events that have taken place here. On May 25th, 1963, a horrific event happened here in the South Philadelphia Oregon Diner. One day, little Nicky Scarfo, along with his peers, Salvatore Chuckie Merlino and Luis Mateo, had accompanied him at the Oregon Diner to have breakfast. When the entourage had arrived at the diner, they bumped into a longshoreman named William Dugan, and is depicted in Philip Leonetti's Mafia prints as a big Irish guy. That's how they describe his physique and description. There is no pictures of William F. Dugan. However, we'll do the best we can based on some news reports so you can get a background image of this character. When William F. Dugan and Nicky Scarfo had encountered each other, they both have a dispute over the seating area around the seating booth. Both men had gotten into a heated argument about who should sit where and who was there first. Now, according to Philip Leonetti's Mafia prints, William F. Dugan had made the first move, and unfortunately, it would be his fatal mistake. William F. Dugan had placed his hands around Nicky Scarfo's neck and pushing him into the counter, grappling and holding little Nicky Scarfo under so much pressure to the point where Nicky Scarfo almost passed out. Nicky Scarfo had defended himself and picked up a butter knife on the counter and stabbed William Dugan across the chest, specifically hitting him right across the heart. William F. Dugan had collapsed and unfortunately had to succumb to his injuries and died that very same day. We will be showing you pictures of Salvatore Chuckie Merlino, Nicky Scarfo, and Louis Matteo, as you can see in this article from Temple University. Here is from Temple University Digital Archives. You see it says Salvatore Merlino arrives at police station after being arrested on murder charges. So right here it is labeled that Salvatore Merlino arrives at police station after being arrested for murder charges. This dates back in the archives on June 3rd, 1963. So in the description it says arriving at 11th and Wharton Street police stations for booking in a May 25th stabbing in a diner at 3rd Street and Oregon Avenue. From left, Salvatore Merlino, Nicholas Scarfo, and Luis Matteo, all of South Philadelphia. The three men were arrested for the murder of William F. Dugan, 24, who lived at 350 Tree Street. And here is a label of all three of these characters' names. After Nicky Scarfo was from jail, he enjoyed the fact that he took another man's life and had no regrets about it whatsoever. In fact, according to Philip Leonetti's Mafia prints, Nicky Scarfo loved to charade and give a performance to how he demonstrated to how the guy had leaped and attacked him, and then Nicky Scarfo ended up killing him with a butter knife. He loved to give demonstrations in front of his crew and audience and was delighted to take another man's life from him, and he would love to set the precedent of it being another mark of another killing that he did when he was younger, and the more to come when he becomes the leader of the Philadelphia criminal underworld. While many people in the Philadelphia crime members were happy for Nicky Scarfo's attack, his boss, the Godfather Angelo Bruno, was not too happy. Due to Scarfo's reputation of being a notorious gangster and killer, it has been reported that Angelo Bruno had Nicky Scarfo banished to Atlantic City. However, some reports dispute this claim. In fact, according to Philip Leonetti on Patrick Bet-David's interview on Value Entertainment, he said that it was not Angelo Bruno who banned Nicky Scarfo. He stated that Nicky Scarfo himself had chose to leave Philadelphia and go to Atlantic City, despite that it was a major bust, since the city was not drawing any tourist attractions until 1979 when gambling became legalized. Once gambling became legalized and the mafia had control of the unions, casinos, and other different resources, therefore, Scarfo was ready to become king once certain leaders were no longer in their place. Nicodemo Little Nicky Scarfo pleaded guilty of manslaughter. He was sentenced to 23 months in prison. However, he only served 10 months and was free to go and then continue his own killing sprees and will become the future boss of the Philadelphia crime family. This concludes the freelance killing of Nicky Scarfo at the Oregon Diner over 60 years ago. During the mid-1960s, Lawrence Merlino would marry Phyllis Hyman Merlino. In a 2009 Philadelphia Inquirer article written by George Anastasia, Phyllis stated that she was 16 years old when she married Lawrence Merlino. She would have 5 children by the age of 22, and she was separated from her husband at the age of 23. Lawrence would later move at the boarding homes of Nicky Scarfo's mother on Georgia Avenue. He would later move specifically to 28 North Georgia Avenue in Atlantic City, as you can see from the screenshot from the FBI reports. You can see his nephew, Skinny Joy Merlino, confirming this as well.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and check out more of our content. Feel free to give your feedback and suggestions on what we should do next in the comments. This is Infinite Lee Productions. We love ya.